Arsenal legend Thierry Henry believes that Arsenal should have won some more silverware under Mikel Arteta. He said for the last 3 years, Arsenal have been in a situation where they should have at least brought one cup or reached a final. Manchester United have played in 5 finals in the last 5 years, the United that everyone laughs at. So I do understand when people ask the question, surely you should compete for a trophy. Frank and Luis are still with us. He's questioning the progress here. Is it fair, though, Luis, him questioning the progress of Arteta after the amount of time he's been there now, since 2019?
Yes, I think football-wise, we can agree with Arteta that they got a fantastic team. There's so much talent over there. They play a very nice football and very enjoyable football. But in the end, we are talking about a team that has got a history, and the history on these kind of teams become bigger when you win trophies, and not being near because in the last 3-4 games of the season, they've been close to win the Premier League, but in the end, they managed to get away and to don't have the consistency that is needed. They didn't manage to get in any of the finals, and let's don't forget they have 4 finals that you can play. Well, not counting the Premier League, but the rest of the competition, you can manage to at least get in one of them. After you can win it, you can lose it, but at least reach there and try to get something. That's something that for a team like Arsenal needs to be a thought over there. There needs to be a warning because there is something that is missing. I don't know if it's the lack of experience. After 3 years, I think that you are already over that. But there is something missing. There is a piece missing when the important moments arrive that this team crumbles. And Arteta needs to find it out what it is, because I'm not sure if Arsenal can allow themselves to, for the 4th year in a row, with the money they are spending this year already, thinking about bringing Zubimendi, players at the front, centre forward, players to add that they've been adding every single year, to don't win a trophy. So I agree 100% with Thierry Henry when he says that this team is built to win trophies.
It's second in the Premier League, a second place finish for 3 straight years now. If you were to look at that in final terms, that would be runner-up in Premier League finals.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle with this one. I kind of get what Thierry Henry's trying to say, but he is right. You know, Man United, 5 finals, 2 trophies, and we're still laughing at them.
But who would Manchester United rather be?
They'd absolutely 100% rather be Arsenal and be trying to figure out the last piece of the puzzle, because that's where Arteta is. Unfortunately for him, he's now reached the stage where he has to find that now. You know, they've backed him in terms of money and buying players. You know, 100 million in Declan Rice is a great example. And so this coming year, I think, is the big year. You know, you can't argue with semi-final in the Champions League. You can't. Some wouldn't argue with being second in the Premier League. But the fact is that he's running out of time now. Next year has to be the year where he takes a significant step towards the Premier League. And I don't think a Carabao Cup next year is going to be enough. So in terms of silverware, I don't think it's as straightforward as that.
They've had their injuries. They really need their striker. Is that their number 1 priority, Ali?
Well, it would be my only priority if I were Arsenal.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that in a semi-final of Champions League, they're trotting out Mikel Merino as your striker. Now, look, Mikel Merino is a serviceable player, but he's not a striker. And even if you have been putting out Kai Havertz, I would be telling you exactly the same thing. Serviceable player, but not a striker. And so, what is the standard of success now for Arsenal? Because they've done everything but win. They've done everything in terms of their progress but win. And what I think, and it's something that I brought up in the past, is what I think is really damning evidence is the fact that this year in particular, in the Premier League, almighty Manchester City took a free fall. Free fall. And so there was the opportunity for Arsenal to be next man up. They were supposed to be the team that would climb up and take that space that Manchester City left completely wide open. And out of nowhere, Liverpool, with a new manager in place, and there were questions as to how he would handle the transition from Jurgen Klopp to Arne Slot, he gets his team up there very early on in the season, and the Premier League was never close. It was always under control by Liverpool, and Arsenal never really challenged. And that, I think, is damning. That, I think, is problematic because the opportunity was there. You did not take it. So then you hang on to what else could you win? And then coming up short in these other competitions, then it all starts pointing back to Mikel Arteta, and it all starts pointing back to the window of opportunity is closing. And as it gets closer and closer and closer, the pressure ramps up higher, higher, and higher. And guess what? Manchester City will not be nearly as bad next season as they were this year. You imagine Liverpool maintain a level of performance. In fact, if you believe the rumors as to who they're signing, you're thinking, my goodness, Liverpool is here to stay for a long time. And what is Arsenal doing when you still don't have a striker? They're standing still, and there are teams that are going by them.
Frank, what did you think of what Thierry Henry had to say about his old club?
I understand. I think it's a comment of frustration from a former Gunner, and I hear him because that's only fair. I don't forget what Arteta has brought to the club since he signed for the Gunners, but overall, at the end of the day, what you remember are the trophies that you get, and so far nothing. And finishing runner-ups, I remember 22 years ago with Marseille, I finished. I don't even remember if I finished second or third, and nobody cares because the only thing we care it was Lyon who won the trophy because nobody remembers the second and therefore the runner-up. So it's better, as Stevie alluded, it's much better to finish second than to be in the positioning of Manchester United, where in the future they don't know where to go. Arsenal, they're almost there. They made a mistake last season not getting a striker, and we talked about that. And they have to do so in order to maybe challenge Liverpool and Manchester City or maybe another club. So then they're almost there, but they have to get it because otherwise Arteta won't stay at the club. You cannot finish runner-ups for the fourth time or even worse.
So I want to come to Luis in just a minute on Zubimendi, but because we're talking about strikers at the moment, I want to come back to you, Ale, because Benjamin Sesko is said to be top priority for them to come in as that striker. There are others that they are monitoring, but that's a player that they're looking at. How would he fit into this Arsenal team for you?
They can look at him all they want, but that's not a top-tier striker, Benjamin Sesko. Good player, not a top-tier striker. Better than Mikel Merino as a striker, I'll say that much. And a guy that can be dangerous, that can be a physical presence in the attack. He's good with the ball on his feet. He can score goals, but still not at the top tier level. So if we're looking as to what the strikers are around in terms of that competition, you look at Liverpool, and if you consider Mohamed Salah now a striker, regardless of what position he plays, you know who's going to score the goals for Liverpool. You know who's going to score the goals for Manchester City. You don't know who's going to score the goals for Arsenal. Benjamin Sesko will go halfway there to fulfill that responsibility, but still not a top-tier striker.
Okay, in the middle of the park then, let's talk about Martin Zubimendi, if we can. That's said to be very close, Luis. What's he going to bring to this side?
Yeah, the rumors have been there for quite a long time, but he was quiet. He was waiting for the season to end. And now probably we'll see a little bit more about Zubimendi. He's a very talented player. I mean, he's a player who gets the rhythm of the game. When the ball is on his feet, you know that he's always safe. He's going to build up from the back, helping and allowing the players like Partey or the players like Declan Rice to arrive in the second line. Him always being as a holding midfielder, covering the spaces, helping the back centre backs to bring the ball forward in a nicely way. Even he can stick at the back and play as a centre back and make it as a 3. So he's a very complete player. I think he's a player who is going to add quality and talent into the middle of the field for this Arsenal side. So he's more wood to the fire in the middle. But I think that Arsenal doesn't need much into the centre because I think they got enough players to be strong and to rotate. Exactly. But definitely Zubimendi, he was linked also to Liverpool quite a few months back. I think it will be a fantastic add to this Arsenal. Not, I think, the piece that they need at the moment, because you guys are talking, and I think with a lot of sense that the needed is a centre forward who can provide 30 goals a season. But of course, with this talent of play and the experience that he had at the Real Sociedad, I think it will be a fantastic add.
Frank?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I want to think I want to put myself in Zubimendi's shoes, where I say, okay, I have Arsenal, yeah, I can go to Arsenal, I'm in Real Sociedad, but what I want to play football. What are my chances to be put from Arteta in the first 11 when you have already Thomas Partey and Declan Rice? I want to find a club where I'm pretty sure to play 90% of the time. I mean, I would never sign for a club, and I always been my decision throughout all my career to decide to go to a place where, I don't know, 2 international players were already there. And I wouldn't have the chance to play unless they may be injured. I'm wondering if Zubimendi will make the right choice to go to Arsenal.
Luis, is Frank wrong?
We are not right or wrong, but I think that if you want to grow into your game, if you want to fight for competition and for championship, you have to go to the big teams. And if you are thinking to move, if you're going to go to Liverpool, you're going to go to Manchester City, you're going to go to a team that you're going to be surrounded by top players, and it's going to be difficult, but that's where you increase and you deliver better football. If you think that what you want is to play, you stay at Real Sociedad and you enjoy being the big player over there. But I think that Zubimendi has got much more than talent to arrive to Arsenal and be an important player. I think that even though that I love Thomas Partey, he's a very influential player into the center of this Arsenal. But with all my respect, I think that Zubimendi can add a lot more into the game of Arsenal than Thomas Partey. Partey is more about regaining the ball and physical presence, but the quality and talent of Zubimendi is beyond that. So I think they will be involved into the game much more than we thought. The same that Mikel Merino when he arrived. When we thought that Mikel Merino, where is he going to play? In the middle of the park, cannot play because too much quality. But in the end, Arteta always find a place for him to play because they are different players who can add something special. So yeah, I have no doubt that if Zubimendi arrives to Arsenal, he will be involved into the 11 of this Arsenal side.
Am I missing something here? We've just sat and spoken about Arsenal, about what they need and the reason they need it. So why are they going to waste 60 million on Zubimendi? No, Zubimendi is a fantastic player. But why don't you go and do what you did when you signed Declan Rice? You make a statement. Go and put your money into your Osimhen or somebody like that. That's going to push you the next step. Because it's no good signing Zubimendi and then you end up with a centre forward that actually can play wide as well, or he can do this. I mean, Luis is talking about Zubimendi there that he can slip into the back 4 and he can play in the middle and he can do. It seems like Arsenal is a team full of players like that. They've got players that can play 4 or 5 different positions, which is great, but you need difference makers. And Osimhen would be a difference maker. Somebody like Osimhen would be a difference maker.
Makes the whole difference, makes them Premier League winning side.
It completely changes the whole outlook of every Arsenal fan, every Arsenal player, and every opponent. That's what signing somebody like Osimhen does. So if you want to go and spend 60 million on Zubimendi and make yourself a little bit better, or you can go and spend real money on somebody like Osimhen and actually win the Premier League or win the Champions League. What would you rather they did if you were an Arsenal fan? I know what I would rather do.
Maybe, Stevie, maybe Zubimendi can finish striker. You never know. No?
Well, he might have to.
You know?
He might have to.
Hard to get Stevie just as fired up in the latest edition of Extra Time.
Well, there were 4 different scorers, but of course Palmer made the difference with 2 assists, becoming the first man in 6 years to register 2 assists in a major European final.
Palmer's teammates were queuing up to pay tribute to him, but the man himself was typically no nonsense when describing his own impact on the game.
Cole, can you talk us through your 2 assists and how they changed the game?
Yeah, I was just sick of getting the ball and going backwards and sideways, so I thought when I next get the ball, I'm just gonna go, and yeah, it worked.
You were part of a team that last season lost the League Cup final, and there was a big, bold comment from Gary Neville saying that they're £1 billion bottle jobs. Do you feel, how hurt were you as a player to be labelled with that, and do you feel like no one can call Chelsea £1 billion bottle jobs anymore?
I won't say I was hurt. I don't really pay attention, to be honest. But I think we've shown on Sunday that we can go to a tough place and win. And tonight, even when we was losing, I feel like we've shown good character again, and we come back.
How is the feeling when you were not a part of a team which was in a group stage and you jump in to win the trophy?
The team had to go to Kazakhstan, and as Tosin, he didn't really enjoy it because it was 11 hours flight. But obviously to come back in the tournament now and win it is a great feeling.
Cool. And we'll do one more here, Jake.
Wait, can I ask a question? Who gives player of the tournament out for the competition?
It's a UEFA question.
It's the UEFA Technical Observer Panel.
Can someone tell him that Tosin wants it? Okay. Thank you.
So Palmer perhaps having a little fun at his teammates' expense there, but both Tosin and Noni Madueke made it clear how big a part Palmer played last night and for Chelsea in general.
He's the one, man. He's the truth. I feel like when we need him to be there, he's there. Like a lot of us, he had a quiet first half, but then the way he springs into life, super happy for him, man. Super proud of him as well.
What he did today, yeah, it was crazy, to be honest. Two very special individual moments where he was able to hold on to the ball and provide bundles of quality to put the ball onto Enzo's head, onto Nico's foot to score two great goals and completely change the game. And yeah, that's what he does, man.
The bad moment or the bad run he had during this season is going to make him a better player, no doubt. We all know that he's a top player. We need to help him to be in the right position, in the right moment. And then he's quality player. In the last third, he can decide games with goal or with assist. And as you said, the two assists, they have been both very, very nice.
Now, it was a landmark night for Chelsea. They've now won every single UEFA club competition. Just look at all of those, becoming the first club to do so. It started with the now defunct Cup Winners' Cup in 1971 and 1998.
Yeah, they've had plenty of success in their more recent history. They're also 2 times winners of the Champions League and the Europa League, and now they can add the Conference League to that list as well. Well, plenty of celebrations for the Chelsea players. Nicholas Jackson went off injured but danced through the pain as he walked past reporters after the game. It's his first trophy in Chelsea colours, and Enzo Maresca hopes this could kickstart a new era of success at the highest level.
Be a starting point. To build a winner mentality, you need to win games, you need to win competition, and for sure the trophy we won tonight is going to make us better. But also I'm very proud about the path or the journey we have done in the Premier League. That for me is the most difficult competition in the world. You have to be consistent. It's 38 games, and this player they show during this. That's why after Nottingham Forest my outburst was a little bit exaggerate. But the reason why is just because in 38 games you need to be consistent. And with young squad, I mean the youngest squad in the history of Premier League, it's something unbelievable.
It's a medal I always gonna remember. It's thanks to God because it's for him I'm here. And yeah, I'm so happy, everybody is happy, and we wanna celebrate tonight.
Is this just the first step for what you can achieve as a group of players?
Yeah, it's the first of many, for sure, because we want to win a lot of trophies with this amazing club, and we're gonna do it for sure.
The hairdo, especially for tonight, can you show us?
Yeah, when I put this color, I score goals. That's why I put this color. It's a European final. I think it's crazy that there was maybe a little bit of talk that we weren't gonna take it seriously or that we didn't value the competition. It's a European final. Everyone knows Chelsea's resume in European finals, so we weren't going to be the ones to show up and not do it and not do our job.
Has this been a good season for a young squad?
Of course. Champions League qualification. We've won a trophy. We won the trophy that we could win. You can only win what's in front of you, so I feel like it's been a great season.
Well, Mykhailo Mudryk was joining in the celebrations at the after party as well, posing for a picture with a winner's medal round his neck. He's played 4 times for Chelsea in the Conference League this season before being provisionally suspended in December following a failed doping test.
So, a significant trophy for Chelsea to win. They've now won the lot as far as UEFA competitions go. But how much cause for celebration is there? I think a lot. But...
well, you would say that. Defenders Miguel Delaney has suggested anything other than success would have actually been a failure for Chelsea, considering the size of their budget. And he's also questioned whether English clubs should even participate in the Conference League.
We were speaking last week about, say, the distance between Manchester United and Tottenham and the rest of the Europa League field. Well, Chelsea to most of the Europa Conference, I mean, it's like, had they not won this competition, and even in the second half, to be fair, they just physically overpowered Betis because of their greater strength and depth. Look, Betis are a historically big club. They're in La Liga, one of the five big leagues, one of the three strongest. But La Liga's obviously had this massive historic problem of the two big ones recently joined by Atletico Madrid and a massive gap to the rest, particularly in the last 20 years. And that was borne out in a game like this. And I suppose you could see that with the real emotion from the Betis side and how much they put into this. But then, of course, I would question whether La Liga club should be in this competition as well. I think, actually, if your league is in the top three by UEFA coefficients, which is a reflection of European club performance, you probably shouldn't have a club in this competition. I'm probably going to get battered by Chelsea fans on social media for this, but it's my honest opinion.
Well, Polish police announced there were 28 arrests made before the final. A water cannon was used after trouble broke out in the main market square in Wrocław. Bottles and smoke bombs were thrown by both sets of fans before the police formed a barrier to keep them apart. According to authorities, there were no injuries.
Arsenal faces key striker dilemma: Viktor Gyökeres or Benjamin Sesko. With the summer transfer window fast approaching, Arsenal is zeroing in on one clear priority: signing a top-tier striker. According to Football.London, it's the main focus at the club, even with other areas like midfield also being addressed, where talks with Martin Zubimendi are already at an advanced stage. At first glance, the decision might have seemed straightforward. Benjamin Sesko was heavily linked with Arsenal last summer before deciding to stay at RB Leipzig for another season. Many expected the Gunners to renew their interest in the Slovenian this year. However, the arrival of Andrea Berta as the club's new sporting director has reshaped the strategy. Head coach Mikel Arteta has acknowledged that Berta's influence will refine and perhaps even redirect the club's transfer plans, including the crucial striker role. Enter Viktor Gyökeres. The Swedish striker has been in sensational form for Sporting CP, netting an astonishing 95 goals in 100 appearances across all competitions over the last 2 seasons. His numbers are hard to ignore, and they've quickly made him one of the most prolific centre-forwards in world football. But here's where the fan base finds itself split. While some supporters are drawn to Gyökeres' incredible stats and more proven record, others prefer the younger and more developmental profile of Benjamin Sesko. After 2 seasons in the Bundesliga, Sesko has scored 39 goals in 86 matches, a less flashy record, sure, but not without its context. Gyökeres plays in the Portuguese league, which, with all due respect, is less competitive than the Bundesliga. He's also leading the line for Sporting, a dominant force en route to back-to-back domestic titles. Sesko, on the other hand, plays for Leipzig, a team currently sitting mid-table in terms of chance creation, making his contributions arguably more impressive. And then there's the penalty factor. Of Sesko's 39 goals, just 4 have come from the spot. Gyökeres, meanwhile, has scored 21 penalties among his 78 league and European goals. While it's fair to say he likely earned some of those penalties himself, the difference in open play production suddenly feels less dramatic. Age is another key factor. Gyökeres turns 27 in June. Sesko? He'll only be 22 later this month. A 5-year age gap matters, especially if Gyökeres takes time to adapt or doesn't hit the ground running. Sesko offers far more long-term upside, not just in potential but also in future resale value. Gyökeres might be more of a now player, but with that comes risk, just like Sesko, albeit in a different form. In truth, neither option is risk-free. But that's where you come in. Who would you choose if you were making the call at Arsenal this summer? Cast your vote in the poll below, and if neither player is your ideal signing, let us know who you'd prefer in the comments. We want to hear your take. Arsenal striker dilemma: Viktor Gyökeres versus Benjamin Sesko, the final verdict. As the summer transfer window approaches, Arsenal's pursuit of a new striker has become a focal point. After a season marked by missed opportunities and injuries, the club is eager to bolster its attacking options. While Benjamin Iko was once a prime target, recent developments suggest that Victor Gyökeres is now at the forefront of Arsenal's plans. Victor Gyökeres, a proven goal scorer. Victor Gyökeres has been in scintillating form for Sporting CP, netting 95 goals in 99 appearances since his move from Coventry City in 2023. This season alone, he has scored 52 goals and provided 15 assists, including 7 hat-tricks, making him a strong contender for the European Golden Boot. Arsenal's new sporting director, Andrea Berta, is reportedly a long-time admirer of Gyökeres, and the club is prepared to meet his £85 million release clause. The Swedish international is said to be interested in a move to North London, with Arsenal offering a salary of £8.5 million annually. Benjamin Iko, the young prodigy. Benjamin Iko, the 21-year-old Slovenian striker at RB Leipzig, has also attracted interest from Premier League clubs, including Arsenal. Despite a strong season, scoring 16 goals and providing 5 assists in 32 appearances, Iko has recently signed a new contract with Leipzig, extending his stay until 2029. This decision has complicated Arsenal's pursuit, as Leipzig's €70 million release clause remains a significant hurdle. The verdict: Gyökeres over Iko. While Iko's potential is undeniable, Gyökeres' proven track record and immediate impact make him the more pragmatic choice for Arsenal. His experience in top-flight football and consistent goal-scoring ability align with the club's current needs. With Premier League rivals conceding defeat in the race for Gyökeres, Arsenal appears poised to secure his signature. Your opinion matters. Arsenal fans, the decision is in your hands. Who would you prefer leading the line next season? Cast your vote in our poll below and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice can influence the future of the club.